going to bring us back because I'm doing the questioning for Adam. And we took a little break there, but this Stevenson Avenue, it's still sticking with me. There's got to be a bit more to this. I'm not, I'm the one, I see them do developments and don't do the infrastructure, and we got, we know what sort of problems. And again, foresight here.
Yeah. Again, it's a case of putting the cart before the horse. This avenue, this highway needs to go through. At the moment, that little leg from Scarborough Beach Road to John Sanders Drive, some people are labelling it as the highway to nowhere. We want to continue north, behind IKEA, up to Cedric Street. Now, by extending this particular piece of road, can you imagine, Michael, what it's going to do to Cedric Street? No congestion. What it's going to do to Ellen Sterling Boulevard. Have you ever got caught there on a Saturday afternoon or on a Friday afternoon? You may as well just take the rest of the day off.
I've seen the car park.
Yes.
I know it's meant to be the road, but it looks like a car park.
It does. It does look like a car park. Point I'm making is, with this road going through, and I'll be pushing like mad to make sure that it does go through, because they've had 20 years to make it go through and nothing's happened. But by this road going through, Michael, effectively what will happen is all this traffic, even Scarborough Beach Road, that'll die down. Hutton Street will die down. Main Street will die down. It'll just be a domino effect right across the board. So this is why I'm pushing very heavily for the construction of the Stevenson Avenue, the next leg from Scarborough Beach Road through where the hire guys are there, behind IKEA, and right up to Cedric Street, connecting to the freeway with a north and a south interchange.
You know, one of the things, and I hear it out in the public because I get out there with the media group, and one of the things that they say to me is that, look, we hear the councillors say this and we hear what Adam's saying, but we turn up to question time. One, we don't feel like we're getting enough time to ask the questions that we want to ask. And two, the questions have an appearance, and I'll just be careful I say, have an appearance of being censored.
Yes. Look, you're quite right there, Michael. The City of Stirling, like all other councils, has a little session just prior to the council meeting actually progressing, which is known as ratepayer question time. So, look, any ratepayer that has any issue in relation to their abode or their general area are in a position where they can go to the council and ask two questions.
Right.
They ask a question. Now, it's been my experience to be told, and certainly one of my colleagues in Jack Garber. Jack is a regular attendee, if you like, to the council meeting. In fact, he actually got removed from a council meeting because of a question that he asked. But one of the complaints I get is that people go there, it's their local authority, they've got an issue, so they go to the council and ask a question. If the mayor or the council do not like the question, they either switch the microphone off or shut the person down. You don't do that.
No.
People don't know the real protocol. People don't know how the process works. Give them a bit of guidance. Talk to them. Now, the time is usually 15 minutes. I believe it's not long enough. For a municipality the size of the City of Stirling, and given the attendance, the number of people that actually attend council meetings, I believe that it should be extended to at least 30 minutes. And if a further extension is required so that ratepayers can get their point across, well then that should be facilitated as well.
Is this because, and I like this communication style that you go for, is this because of your past experience? Because you've been the past mayor, you've been a past councillor, you are a business, you're a building inspector, so communication for you is number one. It's how you resolve problems and find solutions.
Yes.
Is this what's driving you understand the mechanics behind this?
Look, I'm actually quite frustrated, like a lot of people out there. During this election campaign, I've spoken to a lot of people, and the biggest frustration that people have is the unfriendly nature of the City of Stirling, the frustration about waiting ages for applications to come through, just generally the attitude. And unfortunately, this attitude is coming from the top and it filters down. I want to tell you this, Michael. The other day I was talking to a group of people who happened to be part of a strata complex. They had a small verge out the front, and on that small verge, what was happening was they were putting their bins every week. They were putting them out to be collected. And the guy that came with the truck to pick up the bins, when he picked them up, it was just a regular thing every week. He would always either drop a bin or whatever, and there'd be a lot of spillage on the lawn.
Right.
The people complained to the guy, and they got a mouthful from this driver. So they thought, this is not acceptable, talking to us ratepayers in this fashion. So they thought they'd ring the City of Stirling and speak to the boss. Do you know what the boss did? He gave them twice as much.
Really?
And the guy said to me, "What are you running there?" I said, "I'm not involved with the City of Sterling at the moment, but that's what I want to change." Yeah.
Exactly. These changes and the lot of infrastructure and the growth you want to bring to the area, there's always a question, and I know it comes up in your mind as well, is okay, we're expanding, but that comes with security issues as well.
Yes. Look, there are lots of pockets in the City of Stirling where security is very, very poor. Now, the City of Stirling, as you know, has the security patrols, and it seems to work like this. When the crime rate is high, the surveillance is at 100%. When the crime rate drops, guess what? The surveillance drops. When these guys come back, the surveillance is up there again. So it's just up and down like a seesaw.
Yes.
What I'm pushing for, Michael, is for the surveillance to be there 100% all the time. Now look, let's be honest here. By doing that, it's not going to eradicate the problem, but you know what? It'll be down here and it'll be manageable.
Yeah. And I'm very conscious of your time because this is a busy time of year for you, Adam. And obviously you've got Jack coming on the show as well, so stay tuned for that.
Thank you.
But what I like is your community involvement as well. And what I'm talking about now is these junior sports groups. I mean, you're such a person that goes, okay, we have to do the basics, what council got to do, but hey, we've got these people as well. They're part of our community, and I really enjoy that.
Junior and senior sport. We're talking about our future champions, our future athletes. And if we don't look after some of these clubs, we're not going to have future champions, we're not going to have future athletes, we're not going to have any clubs.
No.
There are some clubs out there that work very, very hard, and the only reason why they're still in existence, is because there's a board of directors there who take initiative, they have fundraisers, they basically, if you like, make donations themselves and tap into their network of people to get things done.
Yeah.
Now these are the sort of people that have got clubs that are running pretty well, but they still need assistance from the City of Stirling. Under my policy, what I'm looking at doing is increasing funding for junior and for senior sport. Now, and that should not preclude, it's a bit like the GST, Michael, that should not preclude, or the pensioners, it should not preclude a situation where a club has worked hard to establish itself, and just because it's liquid and it's doing very well, City of Stirling says, oh, well, you guys are doing okay, these guys that do nothing and go to the pub every week, we better give them some money. No, it doesn't work like that. You've got to be fair right across the board. If they do something extra, that's a bonus for them. But I think that the council has a responsibility to its juniors and seniors in sport and the clubs, and it needs to assist them more than what they have been. I've had quite a number of meetings with a few of the clubs in the City of Stirling, and I can tell you the biggest complaint that I get is the lack of assistance that they receive from the City of Stirling. Yeah,
it's certainly a thing.
I'm going to change that, by the way.
I bet you are.
I will.
I bet you are. And this is one of the things that you're across the board on so many things. I guess it's because past experience. One thing I do want to make people aware, and I've got it now because I talk to you every week, this voting that is coming out, and I think this is the number one thing I picked up on you, make sure you sign the back of the envelope.
Correct.
Look, can you explain what that is about?
Right. Maybe if I just start from the beginning.
Yes.
Okay. The postal voting packages will actually be going out to ratepayers and residents, because it's not just ratepayers that can vote, it's residents as well.
Yeah.
Basically, anybody that was on the state roll is eligible to vote, and of course a ratepayer that lives in the area is also eligible to vote. Now, the packages are going to be going out from around about the 28th, 29th of September, and by about the 2nd, 3rd of October, it is understood that everybody should have been issued with a postal voting package.
Yeah.
Now, if for some reason they've not received it, they can ring the City of Stirling or the Electoral Commission of Western Australia, and they will reissue a package. Sometimes people don't realise it, they might have inadvertently thrown it in the bin, they may have misplaced it, it doesn't matter, or indeed they may have made an error when they've actually been trying to complete the application. So on that basis, they can apply any time to get that. But the process is this. In the package, basically you'll have a sheet, if you like, something like this, that will basically give you the profile of all of the candidates. So people will have an opportunity to scan through each candidate and see who they are and what they stand for.
Yeah.
What will also be in the issue will be a ballot paper with the names of the candidates. There'll also be 2 envelopes, a small ballot size envelope and a DL size envelope.
Right.
To vote, what needs to happen is basically you just need to tick the box. There are no numbers required. Just tick the box of your favoured candidate. Once you've ticked that box, you fold the ballot paper. You then put the ballot paper in the ballot size envelope. You seal the ballot size envelope. Then you get the ballot size envelope and put it inside the DL size envelope.
Yeah.
You seal it. And before you actually post it,
You sign the back.
well done, Michael. Actually, I think you're going to do
why?
well.
No, why?
Okay.
That's going to raise a
All
question.
right. No, and it's important because people say, oh, you just want to know how I voted.
Yes.
It's not the case at all. No, the way it works is once you've signed the back and you've posted the actual envelope off to the Electoral Commission, on receipt, the Electoral Commission, what they do is they actually rip off, because the back of the envelope is actually perforated.
Right.
The little lip, there's a little flap that's perforated. They actually rip that off, and the whole letter, the way it is intact with the ballot paper inside, goes into a big barrel and it just stays there until the 21st of October, which is the date when they actually count all the votes.
Okay.
Now that little strip that they've peeled off, they actually have a look at the signature on that with the signature they have on file of 30, 40 years ago, 10 years ago, 2 years ago, of when you actually applied to become, obviously, an eligible voter. Now, you know, my signature changes every week, but and the bank rings me and says, is that your signature? No. But what I'm saying is, I guess your signature of 20, 30 years ago is not going to be the same, but I think the Electoral Commission, you know, they can tell whether or not it's a fraudulent thing or whether indeed it is that person that's actually sent the letter in. So that's the reason for it. It's for no other purpose other than to tick you off the roll and verify that you are indeed that person.